welcome back. We're here to do a reading. It's more of a general reading. Whatever comes out will come out. I always like to start off with oracle cards. So, if you're new or returning, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you could, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Subscribe. It does help the channel grow, and it does help me pick up on the energy. Oracle cards, we're not going in as usual. I want to do a switch up. We did the first phase of the channel. We started with Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. Now we're going into relationships and collective information. It's just not to keep the channel stale. It's to keep clarity and understanding in all aspects of our lives. We like to, of course we like to look at love. But love comes in different forms: platonic, familiar, financial relationships, so many different aspects of life. We never want to keep ourselves bogged down with just one type of aspect in our lives. So if you notice, my channel is 4 Elements SMRV. So yeah, we like to take a look at love, but we also look at other aspects. So first oracle card that's coming out is Complicated. So many different pieces, needing mental clarity, needing to follow intuition, to clear the mind, to get that understanding based on differences, different aspects, the dark and the light. I'm getting with the complicated and needing to cut through this with it and find some type of balance with the High Priestess energy. The complicated part comes with all the moving pieces. So many different relationships involve different aspects, different personalities, different viewpoints and perceptions, different walks of life. And in order to do that, we do need to have understanding and mental clarity to balance that out. Six being a card of balance and differences. Again, duality, knowing, having an understanding of someone's difference. It's more like, okay, well, you clearly don't think like me, but maybe your viewpoint, it has some merit as well to balance out that difference of, again, mental understanding. I want to dig deeper into that and see what else is talking about. Yeah, I feel like something's visually blocked from the growth potential is unable to be seen. There is a potential for growth. There is potential for long-term growth and stability. Moving forward, Alright, so let's see here. What's the aspect? What's going on? We'll do a 9-card draw on these. Excuse me. Devil and 8 of Wands. The Devil gives me the energy of being blocked, restricted from progressing, moving forward, swift, energetic movement, right? Being controlled in some type of way. Yeah. And there goes control with the Chariot card out. And it's more action-oriented card. 8 of Wands, Chariot, 9 of Wands. So it could be an obsession with moving forward, opening up communication, moving forward, progress, taking action, setting oneself free, having that that Knight of Wands energy Nine of Wands, they get the energy of, to some readers, of being, flaky in and out. This Knight of Wands always gives me a set of freedom and a lack of bounds. Like I don't have restrictions. I'm just doing my thing here. It's not really anything set, but the Chariot card gives me the energy of moving forward with direction, purpose, and control. This person on top of the Chariot card, it's like they have their balance. And there goes the duality card, the dark and the light again, same as the difference. It's like, how do I'm leaning back towards the devil card of being on like a one-track mind, of being controlled by the thought of opening up lines of communication and moving forward with direction and purpose, right? And aspects of relationships, it's like sometimes when we're in a stuck position, we have to open up those lines of communication in order to move forward, to set ourselves free, right? It's like, okay, so we're at a standstill. We have block, restraints, restrictions. We're being controlled by something in a negative way. Devil energy, right? And how do we move forward? We have to open the lines of communication. We have to have an energetic exchange in order to move things forward. So, again, things have been complicated, and I see the complications here, because even with the devil card, we see strings here. This has all kind of intricate pieces in there. So, in order to get the relationship moving forward, or things moving forward within our lives, within ourselves, or within all aspects, again, familiar, I lean towards opening up those lines of communication, having those exchanges. If it's to, let's just say, a relationship at work, how do you assume to get a level up in position, title, or pay if you don't make progress from what you've been doing, what you've been stuck doing, what you've been told to do, what you've been controlled, which is what only has gotten you here, with a headache, right? A block, restraints, restrictions. Back to the root, the root of the devil card. You kind of got to do something more. You got to step up more. Oh, okay. Well, this needs to be printed. This needs to be faxed, or I can lead the meeting this week. I can discuss this topic at hand. It needs to be addressed. I can do that. I can put myself forward and address these needs at the workplace, because some things need to change. We need to move forward with direction and purpose. And I know what needs to be done, which I'm at the top. I'm at the head of the situation, and I'm in control of it. I need to energetically move forward and start that exchange for forward movement. And it goes back to, we all having power to initiate change in our lives. If you see things that aren't quite moving forward or progressing, let's look at ourselves. Am I just sitting here and letting things be status quo or the norm, or am I being the change? The change starts with just one person. So many different things in the course of history have changed, all because of one person said this isn't working. This is stagnating us. It's negative. It's controlling us. It gives us blocks and restraints. It restricts us. So we have to look outside of the presentation of what is and what has always been, and the results of that, which in this, from what's coming out, complications, restrictions, blocks. So we need to set ourselves free from that Knight of Wands energy, right? Let's keep pulling. some moon energy, things that are hidden. That comes into play with the high priestess of air and balance things out. We have to, and also with the high priestess, knowing there is communication needed, what needs to be said, the balancing out the thoughts, balancing out. So again, that comes from the inside, the things that are happening underneath, right? The emotion, the things that are hidden, the hidden aspects of something. And that goes back to that duality, that black and white. I'm noticing the wolves on both sides here and over here, black and white duality, the dark and the light. Okay, that's too many. See? There's hidden emotions, things that want to be nurtured, things that want to be grown underneath the surface, the potential for partnership, the potential for collaboration, and having collaborative emotions, and that creativity of coming together. And I don't like to discuss race because it's just more on the black and white thing here that I'm going back to, with the duality, with the black and white horse, black and white wolves, black and white cats. So it's not, and black and white people. So, in order for change to happen, we have to bring forth and change that energy from what's underneath to the surface. We have to move from this to bring this to the physical for growth. The Queen of Pentacles, we have to nurture what's underneath it so it to grow and reach the surface. That change that's needed. A lot of the times we get stuck and we know how we feel and we know how we want things to look, but so many times we get bogged down by the emotions of it, of what that change will bring, and what is so grand, the devil that blocks us, that restricts us. And so we create all of these things underneath the surface that doesn't necessarily have to be. And so we can't really bring it to the surface because we're watering what's underneath. We're not watering it and giving it light to bring it to the surface. Because you can water something, but you gotta have the light. You gotta have the light. You gotta bring it to surface level as well. You gotta nurture it on top. So if you plant seeds and it goes, and this is just by example, if you plant seeds, you put it in the ground and it never gets sunlight, or you plant seeds in a plant and you put the plant in the closet, how's that going to grow? How are you going to nurture it when it's put away? You can take it outside and make sure it gets the light and make sure it gets ample enough amount of water. I'm getting that sense of making it happen all together. You can do one thing but you can't do the other, and that's causing the blocks, the restraints. So if you make that change and you start moving forward, direction or purpose, those things that are happening underneath will start to harmonize and start having that potential to be nurtured and grown and actually flourish. It'll have that energy of being fertile, being able to move beyond whatever stages it once was. And that's, again, I'm getting that shift from what was to what will be. Yeah, again, that goes back to this is reconfirming what I was saying about coming together, harmonizing, collaboration, working together, putting in that effort as a team. That goes, even never mind the differences. We have to look at everything as a group effort, because if we look at the earth as a group instead of, oh, well, that part of the earth, this part of the earth, that country, this country. No, we're all human, regardless of governmental policies, religious backgrounds and all those other things that separate us. How about we work together to make the earth a better place instead of having so many higher powers that we rely on, and then we have so many different confusion and opposing forces. Instead, we work together as a collective, a group, as a whole, and say, hey, enough is enough. Enough hate, enough drama, enough competition, enough killing, enough with the negative energies that drive this devil here. We have to make that change. We have to start that pull and move forward with direction and purpose. Because if I say, hey, I want to be the best me I can possibly be, it doesn't mean go out there and go compete with, my coworker in order to get the position. No, it's me being the best me. I don't care what my coworker is doing. It's still my coworker, even if it's going to be my boss or if it's going to be, the person sitting next to me. Still a coworker regardless, right? We're still going to have to work together. It doesn't matter. It's not a competition. We have a collective effort that we're working towards. So it's not really, doesn't make any sense to compete or fight. We work together in order to do that. If I say, hey, I'm trying to be a boss, you're trying to be a boss, how about we work together and make us both look good, and we both make the company as much money as possible so we both can be in the spotlight of having a chance to be in a higher position or higher level. Not everybody can level up. So depends on where you're coming from on the internal, beneath the surface level. Got to be in harmony. I don't feel a lot of us think of life as a group effort. And if you just work together with each other and stop tearing each other down, there will be so much more growth. Yeah, Knight of Swords. Having mental clarity, taking action to manifest and bring things together. I said it was going to be a 9 card, but I guess it'll be an 11 card since things want to come out as extra. We have to move away from selfish energy. We have to move away from being overindulgent, and we have to be in control of our own actions. It's giving me examples of arguments. How many times have you gotten into it and had a difference of opinion with somebody on viewpoints or, life stances, right? When there's a difference. There it goes. Keeps coming full circle, don't you see? But it's like, how many times is there a difference in opinion to where I feel like I'm right? How about you both are right, and you figure out how to balance that out? You use that high priestess of air, use your intuition, use your mental clarity, and understand, things are complicated because there are differences. There are black and white viewpoints. There are 2 different viewpoints, 2 different stances. But in retrospect, if you say that person is wrong, flip the viewpoint. How wrong are they? How wrong are they? Now flip the viewpoint. How wrong are you? Because at the end of the day, I always say, there can be 2 wrongs, there can be 2 rights. I feel strongly a lot of times people get bogged down on the solely I'm right, solely I'm wrong. No, it can be a duality. It can be just different perspectives. And in order for there to be a release of the deadlock, we have to remove some of the lines in between, and we can come together as a unit, right? The lines in between sometimes cause that blurred vision, sometimes cause those underneath hidden emotions to where I refuse to see your viewpoint. So I'm not going to bring light, and I'm going to put that plant in the closet so there's no potential for growth. But if we come together, we harmonize that feeling and empathize from one person's perspective to the other, we start to get mental clarity and we can manifest collaboration. We can move away from that selfish, overindulgent energy because egos kind of come into play. Things kind of get blurred, especially when we're talking about communication. Communication is one of the biggest fall points of a deadlock because if you're not communicating to where a person is going to actually truly hear you, how effective is talking? How effective is speaking? So again, kind of blocked, have restrictions around communication to move forward. And this could be like, I really want to work with you. This could be the energy of underneath, I really want to work with you and grow and nurture something. But, not seeing each other's viewpoint, not having the cohesive relationship of listening and having an open ear, knowing that there is differences, it kind of doesn't really work because you're constantly saying, I'm right, you're wrong. Not we have a difference of opinion and you're seeing things one way and I'm seeing things another. Let me switch sides, let me switch angles and see how are you looking at it? Like, I'm getting hangman energy, flipping and inverting the viewpoint and actually trying to see where you're coming from. And that's a lot of times we can move away from, again, Nine of Cups can be, wish fulfillment, emotionally independent, secure, and happy. But it's also moving away from whatever makes you happy. Because notice she's the only one jumping for joy. There's nobody else around her. There's nobody else cheering. It's just all her, and she's just the only one winning at this point. So we got to move away from just wanting to win. And control and be in control of your actions. The King of Wands is one who can command, direct, and lead in an action oriented way. So it's like, okay, we have a difference of opinion, but I can control my actions. I can control how I approach the difference. And that's, again, using your intuition, using your mental to balance things out. Let's get some clarifiers and see what else. If we're talking about, just even on a friendship level, like, hey, I know we haven't talked or whatever, we're kind of stuck at a deadlock, want to move, open those lines of communication and move forward, have a better friendship. I miss you. I have those deep emotions of when we used to be, close and have a bond emotionally. I want to nurture that. I want to water those plants. Bring them to the surface. I want them to grow. And I'm sorry, I got carried away, but with the Knight of Swords, the Magician, and Three of Pentacles, it's like having downloads on how to manifest, how to bring things together so we can, again, start working as a team, how we can start building and working together. I don't want to work on a selfish level anymore. That's thought provoking, and how many people can relate on whatever level, whatever relationship it is, whatever aspect of life, whether it be at work, church, with your children, with your parents, with your a lover, with again, did I say friends? It's just like, how are we gonna ever progress as humans if we're always selfish, if we're always here? These are all in the upright, so none of them in the reverse. That means the elements are present. There's the element of selfishness. There's the element of moving away from that. There's the element of, hiding feelings and emotions. There's an element of having block restraints, possession, control, being controlling, right? Maybe even moving too fast, because these are both energies of swift, fast movements. Maybe energies of moving too fast with each other or within the relationship. I mean, Mental clarity sometimes doesn't come when we're moving fast. We take our time. We want things to be watered and nurtured. So for growth, we have to wait. How many times have you seen, flowers bloom overnight? Um, no, it takes a while before they have to have enough water and sunlight and soil to grow under. All right, let's clarify the devil. Yeah. It just needs work. Transformational come when hard work and effort is put in. In order to do so, we have to put it into something, transition, and that goes back when I was mentioning history, transfer from the old ways to the new ways. Because this gentleman here, he's older, he's more mature, even more wise, but the gray hair comes from time, and we're seeing him pass it down to a guy with no gray hair, a younger looking guy. So it's newer, it's fresher, it's a different era. And old ways must die, must come to an end. We can't continue certain things forever. We have to work on that. We have to work on that transition. We have to bring things to completion in order to have that full circle moment, okay? For things to come back around. Clarify the Eight of Wands. Yeah. This is funny. The sun and the moon. This is the sun and the moon. Um, the feelings that are underneath of the surface, they're too strong. They're powerful. Um, they're coming forth even in the darkness, even within the underneath. And it is a duality because you have the sun and the moon. And it's just the differences. It's knowing that, hey, I see things one way, I see things in a more positive aspect, I see things in a more dark aspect, I see things more black and white, I see things more colorful. It's so many different duality things that's coming up. So, again, the complications require mental clarity and balance. And the sun and the moon, there's no other balance. It's yin yang energy, masculine, feminine energy. It's like however you want to, bring these out, look at it. The dark and the light. Black and white, colorful. Hidden, brought to the light. Things that are bubbling underneath the surface is bringing something, giving birth to something, it's igniting something, it's propelling things. Yeah, and it will be a success. It's a fire being sparked. It's something that needs to be paid attention to. Clarify the Chariot. Releasing control, walking away from negative emotions, navigating the unknown, becoming more wise, taking time, taking pause. Okay, it's like there's an energy of releasing control, and it's, yeah, I said with control and purpose, moving forward with direction and purpose, not control. But it's like a release of control with the Emperor in reverse. You're taking a risk. You're mastering the crone of earth here and taking decisive action on forward movement. You have to decide. The Two of Swords here, Two of Air. You have to decide to move forward. You have to decide to come from a grounded place, and even take risks and master grounding it. Okay, so being afraid, and this is because it's coming out choppy and it's not flowing, so bear with me. Let me put it together for you, because it's like being able to take a risk and then mastering it, regardless of what it is. It's like, hey, I want to start a business. I'm going to start a business, but I need a business partner. This person has the financial backing. I have the know-how. We're going to master this. I'm going to take a risk and work with this person. I'm going to decide to leap and take a leap of faith and master that. I'm going to do it and ground it, make it solid, make it stable. I'm going to nurture it and grow it from the ground up. And I'm going to decide to do that. It's a decision to do it, because too many times we make decisions and it's not from a grounded place. It's not from a place to where, hey, I'm going to land on my feet no matter what. Some people do things out of fear and like, hey, I don't have a lot of money, but I'm still going to buy this $50,000 car. And I don't know how I'm going to pay for it because I only make $25,000 a year. So it's like, well, you're not doing that from a grounded place. Like, where is that coming from? This is the decision to take a leap of faith from a grounded place. It's actually deciding to move forward, again, with purpose and direction. You know where you're going and you know what you're trying to accomplish. Point blank and period. You're coming from a solid place, and there's a need for that. If that's not what's going on, if that's not what's happening, that's just an internal aspect of where you need to be coming from in order for forward movement within any relationship. So, like, I'm gonna decide to work with you. I'm going to decide to take this risk. I'm going to decide, but I'm also going to decide that it is going to be successful when I take this risk, because I'm not taking any risk for it to fail. Nobody goes to the casino to lose on purpose. So, you win some, you lose some at a casino, but nobody decides, hey, I'm going to go to the casino, I'm going to gamble, and I hope to lose $500. No. No. That's not the aspect of what's going on internally. They're becoming more strong, and it's becoming more rooted and stable. King and Queen of Pentacles out now. Clarify the moon in the aspects, yeah. Because, you want to be emotionally fulfilled. You want to, there it goes. You want to be in a space where your feelings are free to fly and splash and swirl around as you please. It's like the blocks and the restrictions. You gotta put an end to certain things and do the work to make that decision to say, hey, this is going to be successful. This is going to be grounded. This is going to be, mastered. Clarify the Two of Cups. Yeah, King of Cups. Being emotionally mature, being emotionally stable. It's like I'm getting the energy of blocking out emotions, blocking out feelings. But how do you navigate certain things when you don't pay attention to how you feel? This is, weighing options. I'm guarded, defensive. I'm going to hold back how I feel. I'm going to stand guard, and I'm going to weigh my options. It's not coming from a grounded place again. It's not coming from that grounded decision, decisive manner. So in order for there to be harmony, we have to release all of this, because this is still present. This is what's going on in the inside. And in my readings, the outline cards is what's on the outside, what's going on in the physical. The clarifying cards are what's going on in the internal world, always for me. So when we're speaking in aspects of relationships, yes, there's a underlying energy of wanting to be harmonious, but internally we have the holding back, we have the resistance, the guardedness, the weighing of the options. Do I leave? Do I stay? And again, that goes back to that not being coming from a grounded place. You have to go within. You have to spend that time alone and walk that dark, lonely, long road in order to reach the light. You know, you can walk, the urban legend, old school 90s horror movies where you're on the dark, winding road until you finally find a gas station with one lamppost. Yeah, that type of walk. You may be okay, you may not be okay on that walk, but you're going to have to walk until you find the light, right? You need to get to where you're going. You got to find that wisdom in order to do so. Let's clarify the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, you're deceiving yourself about the heartbreak. You can't put the physical in front of what you actually feel. The mental clarity will come when you release that. There's the Maiden of Air, Knight of Swords, getting downloads. It's like self-sabotage, more duality. It's like the dark and the light, yin yang energies, dark and black, white energy, right? It's like a energy of causing your own heartbreak. And I don't want to put it on anybody, but this would be, if this is a relationship between two people, two circumstances familiar again, it's like both parties are sabotaging themselves and hurting themselves in the manner of wanting to grow, putting out the energy of being stable, being secure, but it's also an energy of sabotage and hurting yourself, trying to look into what's going to happen, but you need to gain mental clarity and actually look at it for what it is. You have to get those downloads and messages on your own. If you haven't gotten it, start looking within, start going into hermit mode, spend a little bit more time, because again, in order for forward movement, you have to decide to do that from a grounded place. You have to say, hey, I'm going to take this risk, I'm going to master it and I'm going to make this relationship my bitch. And that's from a a low level place, but it's for real. You have to look at it like, hey, I'm determined to make it work. I'm determined to take this risk. But all the while we have this going on. I want to be emotionally free, but I'm putting my guards up. I'm weighing my options. Should I this? Should I that? Should I hold my feelings back? And all the while I'm sabotaging this, and I'm being deceptive because I'm hurting. So if you're wanting to get a promotion in the aspect of work, you're hurting yourself by acting like you're okay and, you're good on your own and you can manage, whatever by yourself. Well, how do you do that in an entire company? It's not just you and the company, and it's certainly not just you doing the hiring and the firing, or the one that decides to level up who's next, right? So you're breaking your own heart. Knight of Swords. Oh, that's too many. Knight of Swords. You gotta heal. Getting mental clarity by healing, by having hope. Taking the time to, I guess, resolve internal conflict. Yeah, learning the lesson. It's like you're learning lessons about missed opportunities in this aspect, in this dynamic, and the differences. It's actually a lesson within missed opportunities, rejection. So let's just say maybe there's an energy of, blocking things out, holding back feelings, holding back what you ultimately desire and have those emotions for, which would be, hey, I want to be a trainer at work. I want to train people. I want to teach those who come in the door how to operate and treat customers. I want to be the one that molds the new minds that walk in this company. How you gonna do that if you never speak up about it? How are you going to do that if you don't heal what's stopping you from speaking up about what you would like to do? What ultimately drives your heart? What's ultimately a feeling that's hidden underneath? Why? Because you feel like you don't have the background to do it. But that's what would fulfill you, would set you emotionally free. Those emotions are coming out regardless. You just have to decide to come at it from a grounded place. Yeah, it's like you're nervous. There's an energy of nervous, timid, immature, emotionally, and not necessarily getting that expression out. But it's a lesson about missed opportunities at this point. Yeah, manifesting, teamwork, collaboration. You want to work with some people. You want to work. You want to build. Yeah, you want to hold on to things that actually fulfill you. Three of Pentacles. Yeah, you want to collaborate. You're seeing things clearly. I'm so sorry. I said the sun and the moon. This is not the sun and the moon. This is the strength in the moon. The feelings underneath are strong. And I think you can see very clearly, because here's the sun. You see very clearly how, the emotions are kind of every which way. Yeah, more mental clarity, more mental downloads. It's the Six of Wands. You want to move on to calmer waters. Yeah, having that new beginning, that fresh start emotionally. Yeah, so you can achieve your long-term success, or as the earth keeps spinning. It's going to keep revolving. You want it to keep going. You want it to keep growing. You want it to keep being stable and tangible as the earth. The earth has been around for years, many, 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 many years, and it's like, well, I want it long-standing, and I want it to be stable and secure as this earth is, because as many as time people like to predict, they like to predict the end of the earth. Well, many people have tried to predict it, and many people have tried to pinpoint times and dates and things like that, at which point over millions of years it's yet to happen. So I ask you, opening up to what you truly want, does it really get you, not opening up to what you want, does it truly get you your long-term stability of which you actually desire? We've got the Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles out here, and so it's going to emotionally fulfill you, and it's going to be long-standing, it's going to be consistent, it's going to be stable, it's going to be ongoing and continuously giving, as the earth would be. And yet we still have, emotional stock being taken. Well, if you don't take it, you guarantee you won't. Yeah, Nine of Cups. Moving away, the Six of Swords, Nine of Cups being the selfish energy. Moving away, and it's like making a head over heart decision. Be logical about it. So, yeah, let go, release that energy, and have that emotional or that harmony, right? connect with what you'd like to emotionally connect with. So if it makes sense, do it. Make sure it's coming from a place of, hey, that's what I want. I'm going to decide to make it successful. I'm going to decide to ground it. I'm going to decide to move forward with it. So if you want that promotion, go after that promotion. Do what it takes. Don't rush into it. Don't let those blocks and restraints give you a hiccup. Work on those blocks and restraints. Because I assure you, a lack of effort and a lack of doing something is a guarantee of failure. Let's get some Kipper cards. And then we'll wrap it up. Official person. House. Main female. Great fortune. Mature woman. Change. Yeah. Ultimately it's just showing everything that I've already said, what I'm picking up on as they came out. Official person, the official person will be the one to show up, the one that presents themselves. Don't hide underneath because you want to be secure, stable, come into the house. Show up in an official capacity and put yourself in the spotlight with the main female. You get your great fortune and you actually grow, you actually mature, and you get the thing that you actually wanted. I don't understand why you would block something out if it's something that you want, all because of emotions. I'm getting the emotions getting the better in this, whatever dynamic this is, whatever relationship this is, whatever circumstance this is. Emotion is blocking out what exactly is trying to be accomplished. And those feelings need to be taken a look at, because whatever it is sabotaging yourself. It's causing blockages and it's causing heartbreak. You're not achieving what you want because of certain aspects, and I don't want to pinpoint them because it's a lesson of missed opportunities. You can continuously miss opportunities if you don't heal what those issues are. The blockages, the restraints, the restrictions, the codependencies, the negative thoughts, patterns, the deceptive behaviors, juggling, indecisiveness. It's so many different aspects that's coming out here that actually prevent people from achieving the success and full completion of what they want, the transformation, the change that they would like in their life, because they want to be in their comfort zone. There we go. House, comfort zone. There you go. You can put yourself in the spotlight and gain that great fortune of whatever it is you're trying to achieve within a relationship, whatever you're trying to achieve within your life. You can accomplish that. You can grow. You can actually mature and actually achieve that great honor. But you got to do it by stepping out of that comfort zone and changing aspects of whatever's going on underneath, whatever's blocking you, whatever's stopping you, whether it be fears and mindsets or just overall emotions that you're trying to hide and not actually expressing. And that goes back to the, hey, I want to be a trainer. Okay, go be a trainer. Do what it takes and voice that. You will never understand how many doors will just flood open. You want to train? Of course, we need another trainer. Our trainer is tired of training. She wants to move on to be a director. It's so many different aspects, but it's like she's stuck in this trainer is stuck in her position because you don't want to step up and say you want to be a trainer. Now, as a relationship, we're not collaborating and we're not working together. You're not telling me the ins and outs of what you know as a trainer, so I can be the best trainer as you have been for the past few years. And now I'm stuck in my position because I'm in my comfort zone. I want to be stuck, stable and secure in the house that I have built. You know, got to change from the old to the new and actually do the work. So, and oh, I didn't mention, boom, change. But that's pretty much all I have for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye. See you guys later.